Emmerdale has confirmed the culprit behind Kim Tate's poisoning, and the shocking reveal points to Graham Foster. The twist was shown during Wednesday's episode, although Kim herself still believes her collapse was caused by accidentally taking too much of her medication. Viewers saw Graham making a suspicious phone call to an unknown contact after interfering with her medicine supply, admitting that he would need a different plan after his attempt using a double dose didn't work. Discussing the storyline, Andrew Scarborough explained that his character is still deeply resentful over Kim's past actions against him. He shared that Graham has never moved on from the moment Kim tried to have him killed years ago. To survive, he staged his own death and disappeared, which ultimately cost him his relationship with Rona. Because of everything he lost, Graham has never forgiven Kim. According to him, Kim took years away from his life, which is why he recently tried to take revenge by targeting her. Despite the failed attempt, there may be more complexity behind Graham's actions. Andrew suggested that Graham might not have been fully committed, hinting that their complicated history could have held him back from going all the way. In the latest episode, Chas was left deeply unsettled after learning that Kim's collapse was being treated as a poisoning case. Meanwhile, tensions escalated between Kane and Caleb as accusations flew and emotions ran high. At the same time, Joe returned early from his trip to visit Kim in hospital, though his presence didn't exactly receive a warm welcome from her. Graham's storyline is set to continue playing a major role in upcoming episodes, especially as an unresolved thread from a previous crossover begins to resurface. The episode also featured his unexpected return, showing him releasing Jodie Ramsey from the back of a van. Fans have been eager to understand why Jodie was being held and what Graham's involvement truly was, and it seems that at least part of that mystery is finally about to be explored further. Marlon and Paddy take a major step forward in Emmerdale after a devastating year. Marlon Dingle and Paddy Kirk face their emotional struggles in tomorrow's episode, and afterward they take another important step toward rebuilding their lives following an incredibly difficult year. Both men have been deeply affected by Celia Daniels' control over the village. Marlon was forced into a protective role when he discovered that April Windsor was being manipulated into dealing drugs, putting his family at serious risk. For Paddy, everything changed earlier in the year when Beowulf returned after being exploited on Celia's farm and went on to kill Ray Walters. Paddy and Dylan Penders then attempted to hide the crime in order to shield Bear from the consequences. However, Bear's trauma made it impossible for him to keep quiet, and he eventually confessed to the authorities. The situation escalated further when a police officer became convinced that Bear hadn't acted alone. Under intense pressure, he broke down and claimed that he had intended to kill Ray all along. He made this statement to protect Paddy and Dylan from being prosecuted. Once they realized what he had done, they chose to come clean and admit their role in covering up the death, leading to charges against them for obstructing justice. Now released on bail, Paddy and Dylan are waiting to face trial in court. The uncertainty surrounding his future is weighing heavily on Paddy. Unable to focus on his job at the veterinary clinic, he finds himself overwhelmed with negative thoughts. In the upcoming episode, Paddy goes to Smithy Cottage and confides in Marlon about his mental state. Marlon is heartbroken to hear that his friend is consumed by guilt and blames himself for everything involving Bear and Dylan. Trying to help him cope, Marlon takes Paddy to Celia's farm, bringing along 2 sledgehammers. He encourages Paddy to release his anger by smashing objects outside the property. As the new week begins, their recovery continues as they plan a visit to Andy's Man Club. This real-life organization, founded in 2016, provides a safe and supportive space for men over 18 to talk openly about their mental health without judgment. The group was first introduced in the show during Paddy's mental health journey in 2023. Since then, he has continued attending sessions, finding them to be a valuable source of support. Emmerdale spoilers confirm Graham Foster's true reason for poisoning Kim Tate. Emmerdale has revealed the truth behind Kim Tate's near-fatal collapse, confirming that Graham Foster was responsible. Viewers of the ITV soap will remember that the frightening incident began during a dinner gathering at Wishingwell, organised by Lydia in an attempt to bring peace between the Dingles and Kim. The evening quickly took a dramatic turn when Kim suddenly struggled to breathe and collapsed, leading to her being rushed to hospital. At the hospital, Jacob Gallagher stepped in to help in the emergency department and later explained that Kim's symptoms were consistent with mushroom poisoning. This diagnosis raised questions, as everyone else had eaten the same meal and remained completely unaffected. Suspicion began to grow that Kim had been deliberately targeted with contaminated food. In a dramatic twist shown on Wednesday, tensions rose within the Dingle family as they argued over who might have wanted Kim dead, before Graham was ultimately exposed as the culprit. Unaware of the truth, Kim believes her condition was caused by accidentally taking too much of her medication and blames herself for what happened. Speaking from her hospital bed, she insists there was no conspiracy, only her own mistake. Later, Graham is shown making a suspicious phone call after interfering with her medicine supply. Referring to Kim as a nuisance, he hints that he will need to come up with another plan after his attempt using a double dose failed. The question then arises, what is driving Graham to target Kim? Actor Andrew Scarborough has explained that Graham's actions are rooted in revenge, stemming from the time Kim tried to have him killed years ago, which ultimately destroyed his relationship with Rona Goskirk. He revealed that Graham was forced to fake his own death to escape the threat against him, costing him years of his life and leaving him unable to forgive Kim. According to him, this lingering resentment is what pushed Graham to attempt to kill her. However, there may be more complexity behind his actions than simple revenge. Andrew suggested that Graham may not have been fully committed to the act, hinting that their complicated history could have held him back from seeing it through completely. Emmerdale set to expose Jodie Tate's ruthless blackmail scheme. Emmerdale is preparing to deliver a major blow to Jodie Tate next week, as the full truth behind his manipulative blackmail plan is finally revealed to his partner, Dawn Fletcher. The secret begins to unravel when Ross Barton and Robert Sugden form an unlikely partnership, setting aside their past conflicts in a bid to bring Joe down for good. Determined to take him down, Ross and Robert use Ross's position at Home Farm to gain access to Joe's laptop. They believe that removing a damaging video showing Victoria Sugden killing her brother in self-defense will strip Joe of the power he holds over them. However, their plan quickly runs into unexpected complications. Emmerdale airs on weekday evenings at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.